Welcome to BW Business World. Today we have with us Mr. Anil Nagar and Saurabh Bansal from Adda247. This is a Gurugram-based edtech firm, government test prep platform which aims to democratize education by being accessible and affordable to the youth of Bharat. Adda247 caters to the learning needs of more than 80 million students from Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities by offering them content in 12 vernacular languages. Welcome, Anil and Saurabh.
Hi. Hi. Thank you, Resham. Thank you, everyone.
To start with, tell me how was your journey from 2010, but specifically from 2016 when you started Adda247 from scratch.
Yeah. So 2016, when we were starting Adda, the key thought was that in bigger cities, in let's say cities like Delhi or Mumbai, Chennai, Hyderabad, in all bigger cities, there are enough resources for education.
Mhm.
There are good schools, there are good tutors, there are good tuitions, coaching centers, everything is there. But when we look at tier 2, tier 3, and when we look at villages and towns in India, education is completely broken. Because even before that, we had run Career Power, which was physical offline coaching, and we could see that these type of coachings are all there in bigger cities, but nobody is thinking of people coming from villages and towns or let's say tier 3, tier 4 kind of places. So we decided that if we really want to impact masses and if we really want to impact or empower people coming from smaller places, then the only way is to go online. And the core philosophy of Adda is to take education to masses and create a level playing field in terms of access to education. Within that education thing, we identified a government test preparation for ourselves because we could see a direct impact on the lives of people in that. Uh, and that also comes from our background because in smaller places, the biggest problem is job. People are able to do schooling or let's say graduation, whatever in quality, maybe a challenge, but they are doing schooling and graduation. But ultimately, they get stuck at job. They don't get good jobs. So we saw that as an opportunity also that probably we can create a business around it. But more than that, it was about helping those people in terms of moving ahead in their life. So we started with this thought, and initially we started with specific segments within government aspect. We started with banking jobs, teaching jobs, and defense job primarily, and eventually down the line we kind of offered courses for all kind of exams in government sector in India. So yeah, our audience is primarily in tier 2, tier 3 and beyond, and mostly people come to our platform through mobile. Hence, our focus is more towards mobile app. Most of the transactions or most of the content consumption happen on our mobile app. And as a company, we feel that we are mobile first ed tech company catering to all kind of education needs around government aspect. We
I
can't hear
agree.
you.
I agree. Saurabh, when we talk about edtechs, democratizing it, taking to the deeper levels, and for some, marketing and advertising can be a part of scale, but for some, expansion can be. In your sense, what it is? I mean, let's say, what's your reach about? How does that matter? Do you think it has some impact on your growth and development?
Yes, finally, what is your philosophy around growth and sustainability? Uh, so our first business was Career Power, wherein we did not raise any funding.
Hmm.
We started from scratch with some money which we together put in, me and Saurabh. But
Hmm.
beyond that, we did not take any external money, and we scaled that business to almost 100 branches all over India, around 30 crore of revenue. So the philosophy was reinvest the profits and keep on building.
Hmm.
When we started Adda, we started with the same philosophy that we are going to build a sustainable, profitable business. I think this sustainability, profitability is in your DNA. Generally, it's in the DNA of the company. I see a lot of people who start with a fundraise, that the initial starting point is some fundraise, and uh, beyond that they kind of spend the money to bring in a lot of users and then eventually start the product. For us, when we started Adda, we the first thing we launched was Adda247 app. But as soon as we launched app, we started with paid products also. Our thought process was that people were coming online. Generally, before we started Adda247 2016, mostly people were in offline because by the time online was not too much there. So we thought that we have to create this habit of studying online, and probably we should offer very low ticket size courses in the beginning. Once people are used to it, they understand the benefits of online learning, then probably eventually they will start paying higher amount also. So initially, our we launched small ticket size test series kind of courses, which were generally 100 rupees or 150 rupees kind of courses. And from the first year itself, we started doing revenue. In fact, the first year, the revenue was around 2.5 crore from online, which we did. Beyond that, we have always thought of, in general, our philosophy has been that we will grow minimum 100% year on year. Initially, in few years, we grew more than 100%. In some years, 150%, and in some years, we also grew to 100%. But generally, this is the philosophy we have followed, that we want to do business profitable. We don't want to do completely free thing. If you have our app and you look at the app is freemium app. There's a lot of stuff which is free. A lot of things you can get in free. For example, current affairs, which you need for every competitive exam, it is free. Job alerts, it is free. There are small quizzes for every subject, which is free. There are small bit-size content videos, subject videos, which is free. So a lot of free content. But if you want to do the complete course, extensive course, then you have to pay. So in our journey, we grew the ticket size or the fee we used to charge from student gradually. So for example, initial uh, first year, our average ticket size will be, or ARPU will be, let's say 100 rupees or 200 rupees, which as of now is around 2,000, 2,500 rupees. Last year, it was around 1,200 rupees. So this is growing every year. As we are growing and we are becoming big, our courses are becoming popular, and we are able to give value-added services to our students. So ticket size is increasing, and uh, in our every plan, in our every strategy, we think of it that how we are going to create a profitable and sustainable business. One of the big element of this is how we can bring down our customer acquisition cost. So, for us, growth will mean that how many users we can reach. For us, growth will mean that how we are able to grow our revenue. Growth will mean how we are able to grow our profits. Growth also means that how many exams we are able to cater. In the first year, we used to cater just 3 exams, but government test prep is vast. So there are all kind of exams which are conducted by central government as well as state governments. Every state conduct their own exam to run their machinery. So as of now in India, if we talk of all government exams, there are more than 500 exams. And from 3 exams to now, we almost cater to all the exams.
Saurabh, in your opinion, what is one specific thing that worked well in your favor? Let's say if you haven't spent any money on marketing and advertising, there must be something that went to the customers, right? There must be something which created this magic that it developed and it turned around, right? So वो क्या एक specific बात थी that in your opinion you think that worked well in your favor?
The core meaning of edtech company is where education comes first, right?
Absolutely.
And we stick to that. I mean, we were very focused on content, because tech will only enable, it's an enabler in a way. But then if you don't have good content, no matter how much good tech you develop, you'll never be able to make that mark on your the products which you are building. So in our case, it is all about success, whether a student is getting a job or not getting a job. And to get a job, you need to provide good content, be it any textual content or a video content, right? So you'll see a very big difference in the kind of content which we provide as compared to many other edtech companies who are probably maybe much better in technology, if you compare with us. But then when it comes to content, no one is near us. That's what I feel, and that's something which really created that magic.
40 YouTube channels and many more websites, also catering to almost all 500 or so government exams. These can be the strong deciding factors for investors. You got your attention caught from Westbridge and then Google. These are some big names. Can you please decode your latest funding down for me? That was $35 million. Is it? How that went and what really went behind that?
I think round was very smooth, frankly. Did not face much challenges there. I will tell you fundamentally what investors are looking. Things have changed. So, for example, last year, investors were looking at companies in a different way, and they were looking at different things. But now, this year, since year has started, people are realizing that business has to be fundamentally strong. And more than that, for funds like Google, more than your numbers, impact also matters a lot. That through your business or through your startup, how much impact you are creating on people's lives. Are you actually adding value to their lives? So there, and I will tell you, Resham, personally, that for us also the biggest motivation is this only, that we are impacting lives of people, and especially those people who have been deprived and nobody was thinking of them. For example, in edtech, even as on today, there are edtech companies which are selling products for 1 lakh rupees. But just imagine that somebody beyond Delhi or beyond a bigger city, can people afford those products? Can somebody in a village buy 1 lakh rupee ka product? Nobody can buy. So edtech exists, but there are very few companies which are working for those people who have been most deprived. So I will say when we connect with investors, 2-3 things we are very clear of in our mind, and which we are able to communicate, which really helps us in terms of attracting investment and coming together. The first one is fundamentally strong business. We are an education company, very focused around content. We are not a company made by marketing or all those kind of activities. We are a company made through education, through word of mouth. People trust us for their results and for big bets, right? So that's very clear that we are kind of impacting those lives. Second, our revenue growth. So we have been consistently growing, and we have been able to do this profitably also. Although in initial years, we invested quite a lot in technology and content, and we have been loss making for some time. But eventually, as we had always planned that this will, for example, for last now almost 1.5 years, we have been profitable. People are talking of profitability now, but we have been profitable. So this is very clear. And third is, like, as a company also, the kind of so for example, this is the objective, that you want to impact lives, you want to bring results, and you want to empower people. But even behind that, what is your thought process? How you are going to do it? Is it technology focused? Is it operations, or what is it? What you are going to do behind the scenes? We have been very clear that we are here to cater to masses, and if you want to cater to masses, it can only happen through right utilization of technology, using the right tools and using deep tech technology. So we have been very focused around that, and that's the only way how you can build a profitable business and how you can build a scalable business. So for investor like Google, this is another big thing, that whether company, what is the approach of the company in terms of building business? Is it around tech, or is it around something else? So I think these are the few things which generally will come up in discussions, and ultimately everything is justified through numbers, through users on our platform, and of course how satisfied they are and what they speak about us. So luckily, we have been in a place where we have got a lot of love from our students, and our students really like us.
So good to know, Anil. Very well explained, where you said that impact creates a lot of impact when we talk to investors. Chaos right now. How, in your opinion, the sentiment currently of edtech ecosystem looks like? Uh, is it the race of becoming profitable now, or it is just a race of launching their IPOs, putting their brand image first, and then the brand growth? Uh, in your opinion, what is the ecosystem sentiment right now?
I think you are right to some extent because of bigger players and what has happened with them. There are some negative sentiments. But at the same time, what I can see in the ecosystem that there are good companies also, and investors are investing also. Because so we raised, and I know some other companies have also raised in edtech. So I can see both the things at the same time. What bigger companies or some of the companies you mentioned are doing as of now, or let's say layoffs or entering into offline. I think it is about living up to the promise they have made earlier to their investors and doing everything to live up to those promises. Because of COVID, EdTech got a sudden boost.
That's
And
right.
everybody was over optimistic about things that offline will totally disappear. Online is the only thing which is going to be here. Because if you look at the journey from 2016 to 2019, it was happening gradually. Slowly, every year we were also growing and adoption was happening. But because COVID thing, everybody overestimated the whole thing, and people thought that this will change suddenly. And then startups, they made that promise and raised money accordingly. They also inflated valuations. I personally feel that many of the bigger companies valuations are inflated as of now. There needs to be some correction to that, but I think why it has happened is it is, I think, because of the wave which came due to COVID. And as COVID subsided, then things started getting to normal level. I feel that definitely online is the future. Coming 5 to 6 years, I think more than 90% education will go online. This is my personal belief. Although as of now, bigger companies are betting a lot on offline and opening centers. I don't think we have run offline for quite some time. For 6 years, we have run Career Power at a scale, more than 100 branches across India. So we know exactly what are the pain points, and when it comes to creating value for your students, where offline lacks and what are the bigger problems there. So my belief is that first of all, because these companies, some of these companies, they raised money at certain promise which they are not able to fulfill, and somehow they have to live up to those expectations. So let's say earlier expectation was to grow revenue at certain pace. If that is not happening, so the other option is let's think of profitability. If revenue is not growing, let's change the goal, and now goal is profitability, and then layoff comes into picture. So all those things are happening. But if you look at companies which are fundamentally strong and which have been doing fundamentally right things, I think there is no need to worry. I talk to many investors, and post Google, in fact, I have got interest from many bigger funds also. But general sentiment is this that attack is going to be here. It's not going anywhere. It's just certain promises by certain companies which are not getting fulfilled. But people believe that in coming times, in next 5 6 years, future of education is edtech only.
So good to know, and I mean, thank you for the clarification, Anil.
I feel we need to empathize, with all the stakeholders. That's what I feel. So if I am a student, or say, suppose if I have to design a product or a course or an exam category, then my first question to myself is, if I have to use that product, then how it would be, what kind of services I would be requiring, what kind of promises I would expect that company should be making to me, or for that matter, I am if I am offering a service, whether I'll get my child enrolled into it or not. That's the first thing. Talking about other stakeholder, which is like maybe, my colleagues who are working here, faculties who are, non-stop working 24/7. if I would have been in their shoes, then what kind of organization I would want them to be working with. So I have also been on the other side. So I'm an ex-banker. So always, I had this question, यार काश इस कंपनी में ना ये भी होता तो मजा आता, काश ये work environment ऐसा होता तो और मजा आता. So that is what we are trying to, build here. So whenever I do anything, be it on the demand side or the supply side of our courses, I always question myself that and put myself in the shoes of all the stakeholders and see whether the step which we are about to take or the decision which we are about to make, whether that will be beneficial in true sense or it is.
What are your next big plans? Is it offline centers? Is it IPO? Is it hitting a mark of a unicorn? What it is? What are your big plans right now?
Yes, so there are no big plans. So as I said that we believe in growing sustainably and something which can be managed.
Yeah,
right?
practically we are not looking at like a race to achieve right now that goal of being a unicorn or maybe so I see that many of our competition, they are launching their offline centers now, but we are totally not looking into that area because we have already gone through that particular phase, and we truly believe that whatever we are doing right now is something which can be scaled to a very very large numbers. So I think the core outcome of our product is selection. So I mean both of us personally feel that keep delivering selection and things will flow, be it scale, be it unicorn, be it IPO, everything will follow.
And one of the thing for us is that right now we are catering to a lot of exams coming from, and let's say mostly government exams. Within our company, there will be around 30 different exam categories. For banking is a category, teaching is a category, defense is a category. Likewise, many of these categories we have started in last 6 months or so. So one of the focus area is to grow every category to a certain level. Every category is a different stage of their evolution and growth. So definitely that is one area. As I said earlier, that one of the other focus area for us is to enter into more languages. One other big thing which we want to solve is that how we can help our students even beyond government job. So suppose somebody who is preparing for a government job, he studied hard, but since there are limited number of jobs in government sector, so many of our students are not able to get jobs because these many jobs are there, right? So how we can help them beyond government job also. So that is also one area where we have started thinking, because if you look at the ecosystem, I think we will be the one platform where we have maximum number of users coming from tier 2, tier 3 and beyond. And biggest problem they are facing is job, unemployment. So we want to contribute there. So maybe in next 1 to 2 years, we will be doing something in that direction where we are able to help our students even beyond government job. So right now we cater to all the jobs from banking to UPSC, all categories, all states, different languages. But I think there can be done something beyond that also.
When your approach is ground up, you have to do your ground level work, keeping your students first, keeping your content delivery upright. You can be a very successful business in education. Thank you so much, Anil and Saurabh. On this note, we would like to conclude this. It was a very lovely, very candid, very lively conversation. Thank you so much for